Okay, I'm live, I'm live. Let's go. Ready like Freddy. Okay. Another episode of the Things I Wish I Knew About Money podcast. I'm your host, Kamille Smith, and this is episode 70. What? I almost said 20. I don't know why I said 20, but episode 70. And you know what I'm excited about, folks? Is that I was able to find a soundboard. So big up Daniel. He was able to help me find a soundboard since he's heard me in dying need. I'd say dying need of my soundboard, because whenever I make that sound, you know what's up, right? And I'm bringing it out. I'm bringing it out, and there. So we are back. Yes, I'm so hyped. I'm so excited about it. And I just thought that I would start it off like that before anything. And actually, there is a reason why I want to do that sound. Hold on. Let me do it again. So because of the last episode with Shayna, was so amazing, and it was just a different type of conversation. I didn't even talk about like the biggest milestone. I had 5 years of fitness IQ. Jeez, hold on. I'm just gonna keep doing it. So I like to call it my baby. Fitness IQ is 5 years old. So I just want to first thank everyone that has been involved, like whether you supported me, whether you've taken my advice or anything. Thank you. Like, it actually excites me, or from the bottom of my heart, I'm very blessed for everyone has come into my life to bring more, more knowledge, more value, more everything into the business. And I just can't wait for it to get even better and everything. And I think that's why it was a great idea for me to have this type of episode, because you actually find out that when it comes to a business or even your money, that you have to find a lot of value in yourself, or you have these like trying times when you're like, yo, is this even for me? Like, should I keep going? And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of folks that can admit to this. I do have discussions with this all the time. I have discussions with a lot of folks about this. So I just wanted to have a discussion about it and just have everyone that is probably in that mindset or that same frame to like think of the things that you value in yourself and what you value in your money mindset, and how it can portray to your business, loved ones, whatnot, right? And I just thought, are we going to talk about this? Or like, how can I talk about this? And I thought, it would be wise for me to actually talk about this as a self-reflection to show people they are not alone. And it's actually funny because I had a discussion with one of my grandma's friends, off topic, and I just told her how I was feeling the last year and stuff. And she was like, wow, what you're saying is showing me that I'm not alone. And I'm like, no, you're not. And I actually realized that I'm not alone with the things that I'm experiencing as well. So I always say it's better to talk about it so others know that it's okay and they will be able to overcome whatever's going on. Well, right? So that's just the reason why I'm having this discussion. And also I have a lot of stories that show that why do I doubt myself? Right? And I think I told a couple folks this story, and I will only say it in a short form. I won't make it as long as I usually do because I love to ramble and everything. However, so last month I did a webinar and I was going to lowball myself because I didn't know, one, what their budget was, or two, I didn't know what their budget was, and I didn't know like what I should charge, right? Like I usually charge like a certain amount, and I was like, but I know I know it's a high value webinar, so maybe I should up my price. And then come to realize that when I did up my price, and usually this is the thing. Normally, when I say a high price, I'm always like, oh my God, that's so much. Like, why is it so expensive? And I'm like, fine, I'll lower it. But then I thought to myself, well, let me start doing different ways on seeing what people's budget are, just so I'm able to see the price range to give folks. But I decided to like, you know what? No, I'm gonna just give them this price. And they never fussed or anything. They just accepted it and kept it moving. And it dawned to me that I was like, yo, why am I always doubting myself and underestimating what I've done? And then I did speak to like Shayna and other folks, and they're like, yeah, Kamille, you've been doing this for 5 years. Why are you doubting yourself? Let me drape you up and stuff. And I'm like, see, it's always a scar. You can get out of Scarborough, but you can't get the Scarborough out of you. But so what I'm trying to say is that there are going to be times in your life where you underestimate yourself or you undervalue yourself and you lowball. And I'm telling y'all, don't lowball yourself anymore. And there's going to be some reasons why. If you lowball yourself, you're going to feel undervalued, and then you're going to get burnt out. And I think as of late, I've been trying to find a balance with how to. So there's two things. I would love to have high volume prices, but I also want to help the individuals that can't afford the high value prices. So I think, hey, hello, Omar. But I think what happens is, because you still want to value yourself, but you also want to help others along, it's a battle that I've been really thinking about. So as of late, or in the background, I've been trying to figure out a system that actually works with me, and I'll be able to help others that can't afford it, like having a podcast or doing like other webinars that are free, or when they're ready for that time to get into that volume that I want, or that value package or value price, then they're ready. And I think at the same time, when it comes to certain money mindset, once your back is against the wall, you're willing to pay whatever to get out of that rut. So I always say, like, I'm willing to help folks, and I believe I do that since I have the podcast and I have other avenues of helping others, but I'm still trying to figure out that balance. So and also remember, the point of this is, I don't want you to feel undervalued. I don't want you to feel burnt out, because whoo, child, when you get burnt out, you're just like, yo, done. I'm done with this. So I just wanted to I actually, looked at some articles just to see how this would work. And actually, no, before I go with the article, I had to tell you guys, or ladies and gentlemen, what I do first to get out of a rut. And trust me, especially this month, I've been in a big rut. But I've been listening to like my mentors and stuff, and just saying like, yo, suck it up, buttercup. You got to get through. That's probably not the best advice for everyone, but I can only speak for what works for me. I know how to deal with tough love than others, and tough love is like actually the way to push me through, just to get me out of my rut. Because I'm like, what's going on? I need to get out of this. But also meditation. So I have been meditating. I'm not gonna lie. Have I meditated every day? No. There's just sometimes I literally get out of bed, I'm like, yo, I got shit to do. Let me just jump out. But there is times when I take a moment and just think about things, and I have something on Spotify, like a meditation thing, or I have something on YouTube to meditate, and it actually works. I like it. However, I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts, and they had like a free week course going on. And if I sent you the link, you're welcome. Because if y'all have time to, like, if you want time to learn about stuff with money, it's actually a great one to listen to. Can't say it online, but I can think of something. But not saying that I'm copying what he is doing, but he said that you should meditate 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the nighttime, just so you're able to have like a calm peace of mind. And I was like, man, I don't have time for that. And I'm just being truthful. I'm just saying the truth. I haven't found 100%. I haven't found 100% time to be able to put in an hour of meditation in the morning and an hour in the evening. But if you do, by all means. But then I was also listening to an audiobook, and it's like, if you can't do an hour, start off slow. Start off with 15 minutes. I think 15 minutes is fine. I did 15 minutes. I would say don't do it in your bed. Do not meditate in your bed, because if you meditate in your bed, you're falling asleep. And that has happened. That has happened to me as well. That's why I don't meditate every day, because there's times I'm like, yo, I just got to jump out of bed. And if I do this, I might fall asleep, right? So meditation, I've been journaling. I think that is a great way to get your mind off of things. Like if you're really going through some things, journal it. I actually journal dreams that I have, like especially if my mom's in it, I journal it because I want to remember it. What else? I think, sidebar, if you don't like writing like I do, maybe recording what you're thinking, but make sure you put that recording in a place where no one will find, because I think that actually helps you get your feelings out. And also, if you want to do therapy, I've been doing therapy. I think I've mentioned it before. I have no issue saying I go to therapy because, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want a link to how to get therapy for affordable prices, let your sister know. I got you. So that's also a thing. Or there's like betterment or something. And oh, I'm not saying it because they don't sponsor me just yet. What else? So those are three things that I do, and more times they do help me. If I'm really in a rut, I have to go to energy that, or I shouldn't say energy, sorry. I have to go to people that make me whole again for the time being, or I speak to a lot of people that make me whole. And I know some people are going to say, like, you can't find happiness in people, but I need to right now, okay? Because I'm a person that I'm always to myself, so I don't see an issue with being around people. But more times I'm by myself, trying to also deal with, my self-doubt, my self-esteem, and how I value myself. So that's an idea too. Also, I'm trying to think. Oop, there's another one. Music. Music makes you lose control. Sorry, I had to say that once. I think music, depending on what type of music you listen to, will also, give you those, makes you value yourself, especially if you listen to good music that makes you hype up and stuff. That's one thing I do. I'm making money. Let me tell you this. Money does buy happiness. You know why? Because you know what? Even though I'm going through like grief and all that stuff, I get happier when I make money. I'm like, oh shucks, money come true. Hey, I so and you see how the circle goes around? Money brings me a little bit happiness. So I'm able to help others and have time to do this. And I even want to volunteer soon. Maybe in the summertime when it's like, better outside. Oh, and also stay active. Whether it's walking, whether it's exercising, stay active as much as possible. You gotta feed your mind, body, and soul, so you'd be able to find that value and stuff. And that's just the things I do to keep pushing. And some days are good, some days are bad. You just gotta, work through it and all that good stuff. But I will go to this article that I found just to help like others with their self-worth. And oh, sorry, I want to go back. When it comes to talking to people, sometimes you have to talk to individuals that are kind of like-minded like yourself, or in the same industry, or understand where you're coming from. And the only reason why I say this is someone that I'm not dogging anyone. Let's say someone that works 9 to 5 will not understand someone that has like shift work, or an entrepreneur that work crazy hours. They're not gonna understand like, oh, so why don't you just take time to do this? Like, it's not that simple, especially in certain industries that you have. So be able to find people that are like-minded, and mentorship as well. I always talk about mentorship, big up my mentor. And what else? So yeah, those are a couple things that you could do. So I'll just do a wrap up of that before I go to the article. Is meditation, journaling, therapy, finding people that make you whole, and money that makes you whole as well. And that will help you like keep a balance with your life and your business. Because remember, if your mind ain't right, your money ain't gonna be right either. And that's why being active. There's 6, being active. So that's why you should find ways to keep your mind as positive as possible, so you're able to be healthy as possible, so you can make money and do the right steps of having a budget and all that stuff, and having a fulfilling life as much as possible. However, I'm going to go to the article. Okay. So with the article, it's basically just talking about your value and your self-worth, and these are critical for a business, because if you don't remember these things or remind yourself about these, your business might fail. So the number one, well, no, I'll say self-worth value number 1 is you have a positive self-esteem. I mean, it's funny to say. A lot of people will say, "Oh my God, Kamille, you're amazing. Your self-esteem must be on point." Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's not, but that's why I always have to remind myself, right? And that's why you have to have your self-esteem and your self-confidence in check, so you're able to provide that great relationship with others. So you'll be able to either connect with other clients, connect with or network with other people. So you'll be able to have either a team of people on your business or enough sales from clients and all that great stuff. Number 2 is you recognize the difference you make. Whew. If you do not know your why, especially with your business, you're probably gonna fail. And the only great thing that helps me push through is me knowing the why for Fitness IQ. And even like the one thing I love about Andre is with Flip and Floss, he knows his why and he talks about it all the time. And it's even like, we're not just talking about money, we're changing people's lives. And that's my brother, because I know and feel that we are in the same stepping stones on changing people's lives and just having a healthier life, or a healthier relationship with money. So you have to remember, you have to recognize the difference that you make. And also, testimonials are very lovely. So you gotta make sure you have a certain platform so people are able to express what they're doing, or what you're doing to help them reach their goals and all that great stuff. Self-worth value number 3. You see yourself as a peer. That's a good one, because I don't see myself as competition. I actually see myself as like, equal to everyone I know, whether it's a client. Certain clients are able to speak to me in a certain way, or no, let me switch that. I'm able to adapt to whichever peer or whichever client I'm speaking to, so they are able to, 1, respect me too, and also know that I mean business and I understand where you're coming from. So we'd be able to have a lovely, I don't want to say relationship, but it's going to be a relationship, a lovely relationship to help reach the goals that you want, right? So I'm trying to not read it and talk at the same time. But okay, so sorry. So whatever interaction that you have with folks, whether you're networking, whether you're dealing with a client or like an organization or even colleagues, you have to have that equal ground and be able to have that confidence in you, right? And that's how you know that you bring value when you network. When you network, that's when you know you bring value, because there's always that elevator pitch like, oh, so what do you do? And you're able to have that great explanation of what your business is. And when you see people, oh, that's when you know you're doing good or you're doing well. Sorry. I'm sorry for the teachers. Self-worth value number 4. You do not undercharge for your services. You see the story I told you guys before? And I'm literally gonna just say this one off the rip. Quite often, out of fear of losing business or the desire to win more business, people will undercharge for their services. This is a classic situation where they end up doing much more than they're paid to do, but somehow in a desire to prove themselves, these people still feel that they're not doing enough in relations to how much they're being paid. Oh, let me just sip my tea up. My gosh, that one is I need to read this article again and again, because I have spoke to people that says, like, if you keep undercharging yourself, you are going to get burnt out and you're not going to feel valuable, and you probably will get a distaste of the business that you're doing. And it would break my heart if there's ever a time where the things that I'm doing makes me miserable because I'm not being paid what I feel like I'm worth. So I'm definitely in the works of revamping my website, revamping my systems, and just not condition. I can't say conditioning people to work with the system that I have. And that comes with like booking appointments. If you want to book an appointment with me, you have to go through my link. Phoning me out of the blue is not going to cut it, because especially when I find, and it goes with the undercharging, I find when people know you do a certain industry, and it's no offense to anyone, you take offense, you can speak to me on the low and we'll have a discussion. But when someone calls and because they know you're in a certain field, and they ask you 1,000,001 questions, and I'll say 1,000,001 questions. If it's like a one-off question, I don't care. Like I said, I want to help others and stuff. But when it's like a long discussion or something that I would have to research and be able to give you the proper answer, because nothing is more worse than being asked a question and you're like thinking at that moment like, oh, hold up, I don't really know that answer, but let me research and get back to you. If I have to research and get back to you, I think I should be compensated. And if you're asking me a question that is not of the norm, then you should be booking a time with me to be able to give you the proper information. And you have to tell me the information in head so I can research properly. So that is something that I'm going to do, because I'm no longer in the fear of losing business. I'm actually want to provide the best service I can provide with the right timing. And if you're asking me like spare the moment and I need like time to think, then you have to do it accordingly, like booking an appointment and all that stuff. Trust me, if you ask me a question and I say, yeah, you should do this, and it's easy, I have no issues with that. Just letting people know. I have no issues with that. It's when it becomes like, oh, I gotta do some research. I gotta actually take this in, and this is something where people would actually pay me to answer these questions. So just be mindful, folks. Be mindful. Self-worth value number 5. You are clear about your values. Oh, I'm gonna read this one too, because this is another one. You know your boundaries. You are clear about what is acceptable behavior, how you like to be treated and spoken to, and have the courage to speak out when necessary. You see what I just talked about? Like that experience of someone calling out of the blue and expecting an answer, but instead they should have used my booking appointment link to actually do it. That is setting boundaries. And I can admit that my boundaries were haywire, or I had no boundaries. So now going forward, I always say, if someone wants to, like, if they have a question, I always send them a link. I just say, boom, here's my link. But yo, Kamille, just give me, nope. Here's the link. If you want to book an appointment, boom, we can do this. However, I think I'm going to be a little fair for the folks that have a quick question and book it accordingly. And I will have my email address with, you have your signature. I'm going to have the booking appointment signature on there. So if you guys have like a quick answer or a quick question, you can book a time and then we can do it accordingly. People have systems, right? So I gotta be clear with the systems and the values that I have for the business. On self-worth value number 6, you are engaged in work that is exciting and fulfilling. Yes. So anyone knows that when it comes to like, when I hear someone like has a budget and they're able to be debt free and stuff, it actually excites me. Or if like someone's like, yo, Kamille, you're the reason why I was able to get out of debt. You're the reason why I was able to save this much money. Thank you for that suggestion. It's only suggestions, it's not 100% financial advice, because I'm not a financial advisor. Thank you for that information. And even the ones that come to me and saying like, yo, Cam, that information that I heard from you about, I'm gonna say about a stock, I think I got it at the wrong time and it's been doing terrible. I actually feel 100% bad when I've talked about a stock and I've given it praise and it actually does bad. So that's why I don't even think like once I get my CFP, I don't even know if I want to like steer into investing, because it actually scares me when I suggest something, not tell them, but suggest, and it happens and it just tanks, and I just feel like, oh, I'm so sorry. So, but I digress. Sorry. I'm really excited when it comes to what Finance IQ does, especially when it comes to the personal finance aspect, because that's the reason why we're here. I want to help folks become financially fit. So when I hear someone says like, yo, Kamille, I'm finally getting my stuff together with my finances. I'm budgeting. I'm paying off my debt. I'm like, keep coming. Tell me more. I love it. So I always have to remind myself the reason why I started this business, and that helps me push forward. So for any entrepreneurs or business owners that sometimes feels like, oh, why am I doing this? Look back at that picture of like what you did when you just started, or look at that, I don't know, dollar bill that you first received, or that invoice that inspired you and was like the highest invoice that you had, and was able to pass over that milestone and get a new higher invoice. So keep it up. Like, you just had to keep reminding yourself, and the financial rewarding is lovely too. And also, the last one I see is self-worth value number 7. You believe that you are good enough. Yo, you are, when it comes to having your own business, you are going to be on a roller coaster. And if you guys been to Canada's Wonderland, I don't like what roller coasters, but I know I have to deal with them, right? So you're going to have those times when you're like, yo, I don't know if I'm good enough. You are good enough. This is the reason why you did it. As long as you're able to pass the 3-year mark and you're hitting the 5-year mark, you're doing amazing. You're doing great. If you need inspiration, like I said, listen to listen to podcasts or audiobooks that give you that inspiration. And I think, which episode was it? Was it episode where I just want to be successful? Go back to that one and look at the books that I recommended. Even go to the one with Christopher Lawrence or Kamille. Jamoke. There's so many people that have talked about books or audiobooks that they love and is able to help them push through. So I think you have to believe that you're good enough. And I'm just gonna finish it off of what they said. When you pitch for a new business, you believe that you have significant experience and have the qualifications, case studies, testimonials to back them up. You don't need another certification, course, degree, or further experience for validation before you feel you're good enough. You simply are. And I want to go based on one of the, which movie was it? I can't remember the movie, but one of my friends used to say it in a quirky way to make me smile, is, you is kind, you is smart, you's important. So I would love for everyone that is a business owner, entrepreneur, or even someone that doesn't even do that and you're feeling down, I want you to write this down. You is kind, you is smart, you's important, because you only have yourself when those times are rough to push through. And even though I love having individuals to help me push through, I also have to save myself as well. And you also have to save yourself as well when it comes to your business or just in life. So I just want to do I just wanted to have this quick episode just to help you realize that you are valuable. No matter what anyone says, you are valuable. And try to do one of these things that I suggest, and actually ask the question, do you value yourself and your business? And I hope most of you guys will say yes. And I will put in the description? Yeah, I'll put in the description of the 6 things that I am doing to try to keep, not trying, to keep myself moving and going. And I'll just say it one more time: meditation, journaling, therapy, being around folks, making that money, and being active. And also, it looks nice outside. I want to go for my walk. Because if I don't go for a walk, I'm going to feel off. So thank you for listening, folks. Oh, wait, nope. There are two things I want to say. I want to clarify something that happened last week. Voila. Because y'all loved those episodes. I mean, no, you guys love relationships and stuff. That could be another day. When it comes to living, hold on. Oh no, there's too much stuff. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. Ooh, yes. I don't know if I said it or if Shayna said it. I probably said it and Shayna corrected me. What was yours before is yours after, unless if the home that you've owned prior to the marriage becomes the main home after the marriage, the other spouse can claim a portion of the increase in value of the home, of the house since the marriage. Up to the date of the divorce, unless there's a I don't know how to say this word, so I kept skipping it. What is it? Premarital agreement. So basically, whatever assets you have before is fine. But if you say, example, if I have two properties, I have two properties. And so one's investment property, one is my living at home. And then my spouse comes into that place and then we're done. They can get some of that money from the house that we've been living in, even though I had the property beforehand. Like I said before, I have no problem if you were there to support and invest in me emotionally, mentally. Sorry, I'm done. So yes, I have no problems with that. Like, I think people that put in time and effort is willing to, get a cut. But that will be an agreement that we have with ourselves, right? But on that note, folks, thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, share, big up the Scarborough people wherever you're at, whether you're in Toronto, across Canada, or across the world. Big up yourself, okay? Hold on. Oops. Hold on. Enjoy the rest of the night, folks. Anyway, music. Fitness in our blood because we're working for your cause. Everybody plus money, literacy course. Yeah, talking on the pyramid. Everybody plus money, literacy course. Fitness in our blood because we're working for your cause. Everybody plus money, literacy course. Yo.